Hello, and welcome back to Nerds and Stuff. We're going to be continuing our Urban Shadows campaign, Friends Like These, but before we get back into the action, I'm going to have my players introduce their characters.
I'm Sterling, and I'm playing Calvin Miles, the wizard.
I'm Daniel, and I'm playing Oliver Silver, our vamp.
I'm Junior, I'm playing Jake Gordon, our tainted.
The camera opens in Oliver's apartment. We've been there a couple times. It's midday. It's overcast outside. It looks like it may or may not rain tonight or this weekend. It is early spring in New Salem. New Salem is a western coast city, so it does rain quite a bit in the spring. So that should come as no surprise to anyone that there's likely to be rain this weekend. But Oliver is kind of moping around the house, looking very weak. He's had a hell of a weekend, and it's Friday midday, so I don't even know if it counts as a weekend, but by God, he's counting it Thursday night as part of the weekend, and it's been a crap weekend.
It's only been a week. We have only played a week.
We started this up on a Friday night or something.
Yeah.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
that's most of our campaigns is
What a fucking week.
Yeah. Well, that's the action of the story, right?
Yeah.
We got to start somewhere, so. Okay, so you're very weak.
Right.
You've ran out of your home supply, your juice boxes, your wine, whatever we established as Oliver's kind of holdover. And you have someone that runs essentially blood groceries over to your house once in a while.
Yes, right. I have a delivery person.
Yeah, and we haven't heard about this person, so go ahead and kind of introduce the idea of them, and then we'll kind of jump into scene and start that out.
Right. So my kind of connection, who makes sure that I get fed regularly, is named Mistress Ivy.
She's a mortality faction. She is aware of the supernatural. She is the owner and chief operator of two businesses. One is a front that's a health club, and it's called Harmony Health Club. And then there's a secret section that's probably as big, if not slightly bigger, definitely more sketchy, and it's called Crushed Velvet.
And
Tell us a little bit about Crushed Velvet.
Crushed Velvet is very much like a kink and swingers club. So it is a high price entry VIP sex dungeon, essentially.
So is it like super sketch, like German dungeon porn kind of stuff? Or is it very much like high class? Keys in the bucket swingers party?
It is like a high class safe play space.
And her name is Mistress Ivy.
Right.
That was her Christian name, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So you gave her a call earlier in the day, saw if she could bring over some more supply, and she is heading over. Let's get into that scene.
Okay.
Tell me what Mistress Ivy looks like, because the camera hasn't seen her yet. So we'll say that did you want to insert something real quick, or just?
Oh, just rough talking about how the apartment is different. I've moved most of my, we'll say, battle debris away.
So there's not a path leading to your bedroom like Artemis found? Yeah, because that was earlier today, right?
After Artie left, and so I kind of cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's probably an hour and a half after Artemis left.
Some of the blood.
Fair enough, yeah. Cool, so the elevator doors open. What does the camera see for Mistress Ivy?
So as she steps out, she is very much true to her name. She mostly
are you
just
good, bro?
wears, like,
Yeah.
What was that?
It was like a yawn.
Picturing Mistress Ivy.
Boy, he was remembering his last visit to Crushed Velvet.
Ivy.
Ooh, I have a wanted poster there.
Quite a woman.
It was a yawn with a stuffy nose and
Little tiny orgasm at the end.
just a little one.
Perfect, yeah. That's the only kind we have here at the table. Here at Nerds and Stuff, we only have tiny orgasms.
Little ones.
Just little itty bitty ones. All right. Junior is not prepared.
Nope.
What up, man? All right. So.
Okay, so Mistress Ivy.
Yeah.
She mostly just wears leather garb.
Okay.
Whether it be real leather, like fetish type wear, or if it's just traditional, like black leather outer.
Now she is out in the city, so I'm assuming it's not fetish.
Right. No,
this time.
it's just like.
I kind of like the idea, like really sleek green leather pants and like a red leather top, kind of playing off that like Poison Ivy sort of look.
Sure.
Cool.
that.
What are we going for? Like hair, looks? How old is she?
So she has very long black hair.
Okay.
We'll say like mid back, always kept perfectly straight. She has very like feline type facial features.
Okay.
Kind of more of that round face and eyes type look.
Okay.
She doesn't necessarily look like the type of person that would be like a Mistress Ivy. She very much has more like a girl next door type look.
Okay. Like the quiet librarian
Right.
that handcuffs you for the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
The quiet librarian who finally realized that she would rather do other things than be a librarian.
Yeah. And this is a throwback to inspectors, people. Go to your libraries, please.
Yeah.
They're great for homeless people to BM in. And find your future wife, I suppose, or dominatrix, whatevs. All right, I think we have a scene in here somewhere.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Mistress Ivy comes out of the
Yeah.
elevator, I think we were at.
Yeah, so she steps in, high heels clacking against your marble floor.
And I've been kind of anxiously expecting her, running a little dry.
Yep, and so she has she has a purse with a little bit bigger, like a carry bag, and she walks in and she immediately pulls out a couple wine bottles and she pulls out some boxes of like powdered blood, you know. Juice boxes, no. So she starts setting up and how are you, dear?
Oh, Ivy, it's so good to see you. I've had better days.
Yes, I gathered with the emergency request.
Yes, I just kind of like itch at my neck a little. Just kind of tight collar. Yeah, it's, there were a few interesting scuffles lately.
Oh, your life is so dangerous, I suppose. She's still setting stuff out. Any stories you'd care to share with Mistress Ivy?
Well, Ivy, Scarlet is back in town.
Oh, yes. I've heard that she left town for a little while, or...
Yeah, I guess she had some business trip or something planned. I don't know. She probably just went on a little wine tour. You know how she is.
Very much so. Up north, beautiful wine country.
Yes.
You're just
North.
grinning at me, man. What's up? How you doing?
Good. No, I like your voices. It's good.
Well, she's back in town now, so she might come by. In fact, you know, I need to come by too. It's been too long.
Yes, of course. Mistress Ivy will always welcome Oliver into Crushed Velvet, or have you been thinking about getting a Harmony Health Club membership? I know we talked about it last we met.
Oh, you know, I could really do with a good massage. It's been a while.
Yes, you look like one that needs to be pampered a bit. She kind of brings you up and presses you into her bosom. Yes, let Mistress Ivy pamper you. And releases you.
And as I pull away, I just kind of like grab the back of her neck and just kind of peck right at the cheekbone. Just
Okay.
a quick kiss as I pull away.
So she kind of shyly dodges away and blushes. Is this all that you'll need for today, Oliver? I know that you said it was a bit of emergency. This is all that Mistress Ivy could come by on such short notice.
It will do. Thank you very much. I really owe you for this. I am hopefully going to be able to have a little bit of luck tonight.
Oh.
I'm going out again, and it's been too long.
Well, if I may recommend something to hold you over until you begin your hunt. Matt, I recommend this bottle in the middle. It's a 1962 gentleman.
A little aged.
A little aged, very healthy jogger.
I take the bottle and just kind of turn it over and hold it up under the light to see.
The light barely pierces the blood inside. Yeah.
This just looks delicious.
Well, I shall let you get back to it. Mistress Ivy has so much work to do. It is Friday night, after all.
I'm sure you have a very busy schedule for tonight.
Yes. Well, enjoy, Oliver. I look forward to seeing you again
I
soon.
kind of like pop the top off the bottle.
Yep. Kind of smell it. Yeah. The aroma is breathtaking.
It's causing me to salivate. It's so
Yep.
good.
I would join you, but I'm just so very busy.
It's not everyone's flavor.
No, of course not. But I am happy. Shall we add this to your tab?
Yes, and maybe I'll come by and see you about that membership.
Perfect. Mistress Ivy looks forward to seeing you again. She turns around, hips swaying, high heels clacking.
As the doors close of the elevator, I just blow her a kiss.
Yeah. And like as they close, she catches it and like puts it in her bag or puts it to her chest.
right.
Yeah.
Right in the
Yeah.
cleavage.
Such a tease. Yeah, so the elevator doors close. You're left alone with your thoughts. You have something to hold you over for the weekend. It won't prevent you from perhaps looking for something with a pulse.
Yeah, no, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I am very hungry. But for this afternoon, until I can hopefully get out and maybe... I want to kind of see if the vibe is okay. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But if I can't get into the vibe, or if things are bad there still, I might have to branch out into unknown territory.
Right, so you pour yourself a glass, kind of let it breathe a little bit.
Go over by the fireplace and sit between the fireplace and the outer window to just kind of enjoy this and mellow out a little.
Deal. Do you have a chair, or do you usually stand? Because I picture you have like floor to ceiling bay windows on
I usually
one section
stand,
of your
but
apartment.
feeling a little weak,
Okay.
I've pulled one of my chairs over.
Okay. I kind of like the idea too that maybe like you're leaning up against the window, drinking the wine, watching
Just-
her walk out of the building.
Just seeing it like tie undone, hanging down,
Yeah.
shirt halfway buttoned up, and just like hand up on the glass and the other hand holding the glass, the wine glass.
Yep.
And just watching as she leaves.
Yeah, so she gets out, she walks up to her car, a driver comes around, opens the door, and right before she gets into the car, she looks up back at the building.
She knows I'm watching.
Yeah, and so she gets into the car, the door shuts, and the car drives away, and you kind of smile, thinking that things might just work out this weekend. And then you feel incredibly weak. You feel your knees buckle. You collapse down to your knees and you feel a choking sensation. And as you are sort of collapsing, gasping, struggling, you take one more long pull, trying to get that into your system. And the camera does a kind of dolly pan moving backwards, exposing more and more of your pristine apartment as you collapse onto your side. The glass smashes and the blood starts pooling outside the glass. And we will cut there. So it's midday, it's kind of gloomy. The camera opens on Jake at the docks. Tell us, we've heard a bit about Jake's job, but we've never seen him at it. So what does Jake at work look like?
So he's kind of tries to get hands on everything. He's not yet managerial positions, but he's close. So
Kind of favored to be.
Okay. Yeah. And but he just likes to do it all because he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Okay. So ship came in. There's plenty of work to be had. You're kind of hustling and bustling, and one of your buddies that works down at the docks, he slings drugs through the docks once in a while, and the camera kind of does this focus roll to your buddy kind of walking off, and you have a sinking suspicion that something weird's going on. You're not like a narc or anything, right? But you wanna be aware of what's going on at your job and around, and so you're walking around these giant shipping containers. It's just like a maze.
Right.
You turn a corner and you see this coworker, and he's meeting with Calvin's daughter Jessica, and they do some quick handshakes, and then she gets back in her friend Megan's car, and they're getting ready to kind of bounce.
Okay.
As you kind of roll up, or do you let them?
I'm gonna let them leave,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna let my.
Yeah. So your buddy turns around, starts walking back. He kind of looks smug, puts his hands in his jacket pocket, like just getting back to work. Sees you pop around the corner. He's like, "What's up, Jake?"
I'm like, what was that?
"What's up, man? I'm just hanging out. Just one of my friends swung by, just saying hi to her."
Really?
"Yeah,
What you got in your pockets?
just my hands, man." He like cash almost falls out of his pocket.
Like, I don't want you to be doing that around here.
Doing what, man?
And then I'll come and press up to him.
Like just grab him by the jacket, and start shoving him in the. This sounds like a move. I do believe this sounds like persuading an NPC through seduction, promises, or threats.
Seduction.
So, are you trying to persuade him not to sell
To sell to them.
to those people specifically? Okay, all right. So, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, it's hard.
Okay, you're fairly convincing.
Okay, so heart is right because we rolled heart.
Yeah, so
that's
persuading
a
an
+1.
NPC, you roll with heart. So you got an 8 on the dice, so
+9.
+1 still puts you in that middle. So 7 through 9, they modify the terms or demand a debt. So he's going to say, "All right, man, here's the deal. I will stop selling to those 2 people if you make up the difference. Right? I make $40 every 2 weeks from them. I know that doesn't seem like much. Man's got to eat. Man's got to put food on the table.
Fine.
Tell you what, $100 a month, I won't sell to them.
$100 a month.
It's the cost of doing business, man. What's it to you anyways? Why do you give a fuck who I sell to?
They're friends of mine, alright? I don't want them to be doing that kind of shit.
Why are you friends with a bunch of high schoolers, man? That's fucking creepy.
It's not creepy. You mind your own damn business. You just need to stop doing this.
Alright, we got a deal?
I don't know if I can afford that. That's the problem. I'm trying to think if I can.
Does Jake think about the finances?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, deal, fine.
Alright, cool, man. Cool. Yeah.
Unless kind of
Look, he pulls out his phone. Number's deleted, man.
Okay, I don't want to see that ever again.
We got ourselves a deal. You keep the payments coming, you won't have to worry about that shit.
And I'm just gonna shove him.
Okay, shove him, and then you get back to work. Okay, so the camera rolls over to Calvin. Calvin's in his apartment, right? What's your day been like so far?
So the day started with him and Aurora. Then he went and took Trent's truck back, and
It's been a pretty
Talk
busy
with
day.
Vincent.
Class was so canceled. 100% canceled.
He's probably going to cancel on Monday, too.
just to make up for the...
oh, that's right. He had to do reports and
It
stuff.
was so bad.
Well, he took Friday off, but then he had to do other stuff all day Friday.
Yeah.
He really couldn't catch up on his DVR shows.
And I imagine there was probably an awkward ride, someone driving him back to his apartment.
Yep. It would probably be one of Trent's lieutenants would have. Yeah. So we last ended with that conversation kind of unresolved. It kind of did Calvin swear fealty to the werewolves, to Vincennes, or did he kind of say he'd think about it?
It was more on the think about it side of things.
Okay.
Calvin's really stubborn, and he doesn't want to get involved in this any more than he has to. So he's kind of using a silence is better than...
Yeah. No affirmation, like, no answer is better than the wrong answer kind of thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of Calvin's life. He's just like, meh.
he's got too much on his plate. He can't...
Yeah, but something probably did resonate from that whole conversation, right? Did you see either one of them in a different light after that conversation?
He saw Trent a little more in a different light, Trent and the werewolves. I guess he felt more sympathy towards them and their cause.
The underdogs, perhaps?
Yes.
You love this and you know it, otherwise you wouldn't be here every week.
Yeah, since they had kind of had that, things turned south against them, and they came out by far the worst for wear.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea that Calvin's driving home and he just like internal monologues the whole drive home. He's like, yeah, fine, I'll help out the werewolves. And Vincent seems like a decent enough guy, but I still hate his guts. Just driving around, just yelling at his steering wheel a little bit. Yeah. That's like his therapy time. Just yelling at his steering wheel. He has a bobblehead that he just screams at sometimes at stoplights. It helps him balance.
It's one of them
Jake
little
has
girls.
the heavy bag. Yep, Jake has a heavy bag at the gym.
You have your little bobblehead.
Perfect. All right, so you get back home. Your daughter and your ex-wife are coming over in a little while to drop off Jessica, right? And your ex-wife is Abigail or Abby?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, you're walking around the apartment, that you still catch like twangs of Aurora's smell, and it kind of confuses you in weird ways. Like you had that very tender moment this morning, where she was very vulnerable, but at the same time, you also realize that the couch and the blanket smell heavily of Aurora, and your ex-wife and your daughter are coming over any minute.
So he grabs the blanket and just throws it into his bedroom.
Okay, perfect.
I'm gonna save this for later.
And
I miss you.
he probably just goes and pulls an an empty pizza box out of the garbage and like just opens it and leaves it on like the coffee table and then goes and like pops a beer and like sitting and watching.
Catching up a little bit.
Catching
Is
up
this
a
the same
little.
pizza box from last weekend? The breakfast pizza.
Oh man, that pizza was like rock hard by the end of the week. Yeah. So as you kind of finally sit down, start to get comfortable, sink into your favorite chair, there's a knock at the door. You get up. You know who it is. You can hear them two kind of talking as they walk up the stairwell to get to your apartment, and then they immediately stop talking when they get to your door, and it's just like really awkward. So there's the knock at the door. You get up, open the door. We've seen Jessica a few times,
Yeah.
right? She's 16.
Yeah.
Okay. She's old enough to drive, but not old enough to drive well. That kind of age, yeah.
Exactly.
She gets into clubs, but only because she has a killer fake ID. Like, she's like 16. She looks a little bit older, but that's how she could kind of...
Or she has vampire friends.
Yeah, but even with vampire friends, I'm sure Harold would not just let 15, 16 looking-year-old girls into the club.
I almost picture
girls
her
these
as
days.
like the girl that plays Sansa
14 to
Stark
25?
on Game of Thrones, kind of.
Who plays Sansa?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of how I picture
Yeah.
what she looks like.
Kind of like could be really young, could look really old. Yeah, perfect. Depending on how they do their makeup that day.
Could
yeah.
pass either way.
Yeah, so you open the door. We've seen Jessica. Tell us a little bit about Abigail, or Abby.
So, Abigail she's not real tall, but she's not like super short either. Has brown curly hair, just big eyes, just kind of. She probably has a job, so she's probably in like a business kind of
Yep.
power suit almost type thing.
Okay. And what is Calvin and Abby's relationship like?
It's strained. It's awkward, but it's like cordial at the same time.
Okay. Because
They're
You
not
guys
like
split after your son died, right? That was kind of the catalyst.
yeah.
it probably like started there. That was like the point of no return, and then it kind of unraveled. Mm-hmm. Has it gotten worse kind of since then?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's if anything, it's probably better.
Okay.
They're not like at each other's throats like about alimony and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just
It's
the
delicate.
love is gone,
Yeah.
and it's obvious that the love is gone.
Okay, deal. Yeah, so the door opens, and so you see them, and she's like on her cell phone, like checking emails and stuff like that. Abigail is, and your daughter's on her phone, not checking emails.
They were talking as they walked up,
Yeah.
and they intentionally brought out their phones to like look busy.
Yeah. So the door opens. They both kind of step in. Abby immediately goes into this mode of like inspecting your apartment because it's kind of a mess. It's disheveled. This is one of the biggest points of contention almost every weekend.
I make a show to go and like pick up the empty pizza box and throw it away. The one that I had just pulled out of the
Perfect.
garbage.
Yeah, so Jessica immediately comes in and she like collapses onto the couch and she's like, "Dad, what are you watching?"
Oh, it's just a show.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then Abigail's like, you're not gonna pick up a little bit for company?
I did pick up a little.
Calvin.
Look, what do you want from me, Abby?
Do you have groceries this time?
Yes, I've got groceries.
Show me.
Why do I have to show you?
Because Jessica told me what happened last weekend.
Look, alright, we've got food. We've got stuff to eat.
Jessica, are you good? Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Thanks for dropping me off. Mike's waiting in the car.
Who's this Mike?
He's no one. Listen, I've got to go. I've got a meeting to get to across town. Blatant lie. The biggest lie you've ever heard. Yeah.
At 5:30 at night. A meeting.
Yes, it's been a very difficult week.
Oh,
Listen, Calvin, I really don't want to get into this right now. Jessica is here. She's happy to see you. She has a bit of homework, but not nearly as much as you apparently helped her with last week. It was kind of like a snide comment because she knows that you didn't help her with homework last week. Anyways, Jess, you have my number. Call me if you need anything. Calvin? It was good seeing you.
Pleasure as always.
She turns and leaves, and the second the door slams shut, Jessica goes, she's got a date with Mike, some dinner thing.
And he's like, well, hope it works out better for them than it did with us. Anyway,
What is that supposed to mean?
nothing. What would you like for dinner?
Not pizza. Especially not this janky smelling pizza. Is this the pizza? Was that the pizza from last week, Dad?
No,
Dad,
it's just the box. I haven't thrown the box away yet.
what are you doing with the box when you're done with it?
Does
God, Dad, you're so...
placemats? I don't know. Look,
Listen, Dad, I'm probably going to hang out with my friends tonight, if you don't mind. We heard that the Vibe might reopen tonight. It's...
that Vibe, the club for 21 and older.
No, it's, I said the Vibe. It's the one right next to the Vibe. It's 18 plus. I mean, I'm probably just going to go over to Megan's house and stay the night.
We're gonna dance at Megan's house.
We're just going to hang out at Megan's. She's not having a party tonight.
Right, well, I'm all
Listen.
about you being a free spirit and stuff, but I really think it's best that you avoid places like the Vibe. Go out,
Okay.
have fun, you're young, but places like the Vibe are full of scum and villainy.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's otherwise they wouldn't get shot up like
a
they
guy
did.
brought a gun there
I
and
know.
shot it.
I was almost there. I mean, I was nearby that night, and it was really scary.
So, yeah, maybe we don't go to clubs with strange, creepy pale men that like to hit on young girls.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, don't you go to that like? Don't you go to that like bar, Frogs or something? I heard it like caught on fire.
Toads?
Yeah.
No, that was Pints.
Oh, I didn't know. Was that's not your bar, is it?
Oh, I mean, I've drank that, but no.
Pints. Okay. They just sound like all these bars sound so similar. They're all one word: chips, Dales, pints, toads, whatever. Listen, do you mind? Like, do you have? What are your plans this weekend, Dad?
Didn't really have any right now.
Oh, okay. Did you want to go get dinner or something?
Well, I think that would be nice to spend some time together before you go and hang out with your friends all weekend.
Yeah, just it's not a party. I just can't stress that enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Sure,
And totally not the club.
Cool. Well, can we go somewhere besides that noodles place? And you just
Another restaurant? Oh no!
What's wrong with the noodle place?
we have it like every other weekend.
Is it only every other weekend?
It's in like 5 times a week.
Yeah. Calvin's been there this week already once. Yeah. Yeah.
You got Kelvin there yesterday.
We'll just cut the scene with like them settling on a place to find
Yeah.
dinner. Yeah. So we cut over to Oliver, and Oliver, last we saw, was laying on the ground. The camera cuts back, and it's just maybe like a minute later. He is struggling. He is crawling across this marble floor, choking. His cell phone is on an end table. He's fairly convinced that he's consumed poison.
Well, fuck.
This is not the weakness. You've been weak, you've been drained, you've been at the edge of death from lack of blood and anxiety and wounds before. This is something entirely different.
Well, I clearly need help. If only I had my life alert.
I mean, the old man in you wishes you did, but the young man would never get caught in public wearing that. Yeah. Yeah, so the camera opens, right? You're struggling, you're choking, you're gasping. You feel like you might be dying. What do? Your cell phone is 6-8 feet away. It's going to be a heroic effort to make it there.
I I need to make it there. I need to get help.
Okay. I'm going to have you keep your cool.
Okay.
So this is going to be, you're obviously telling me which situation you like to avoid. Which,
Death.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we're going to do
Yeah.
is, if you fail this, you'll start taking wounds.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to have you keep your cool to kind of, your situation is you want to get to your cell phone and call someone for help. That's probably not Mistress Ivy.
Probably not.
All right. So
Fucking
you're
Christ,
struggling. You get there no matter what. I'm not just going to kill you on
Right, yeah,
the
I
storytelling thing.
appreciate
But I'm going to make you take 3 wounds by the time you make it there. Okay? And this will just basically be the resolution of the kind of poison running its course. Who do you call? Who is the most important person that you can call that can help you?
Artemis.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, so you call Artemis, and it's about 6 p.m., and you remember that there's the business meeting. Friday at 6 p.m., there's always a weekly business meeting, and Artemis doesn't answer. Goes to voicemail.
Fuck. There's my one friend.
So as you're struggling, you're struggling with the cell phone in your hand, you're just screaming, choking, gurgling. You hear Robbie stir in his little kind of apartment cove.
Robbie.
No sounds. I'm gonna have you try and let it out to summon him, to get his attention,
dark
because
bidding.
you're gonna have to really heroically struggle here to get his attention. He's having Robbie dreams.
I have a 10.
Okay, so you are able. So on let it out, on a 10 plus, ignore the corruption and choose 2 from the list. So we're gonna say that you're taking definite hold. No, we're gonna say that you extend your senses, right, to basically reach out with your darkness, the darkness that creates ghouls, that binds them to you, and you're going to basically invade his dreams and
Just
wake
like
him up.
summon them.
Yeah. And that takes a lot out of you. I'm going to say with a 10, instead of... this is really pouring into it, right? So I'm going to say that you can pick 2 and take corruption. And this is not part of the mechanic, right? This is you dying, becoming a feral vampire for a moment, digging into your powers. So would you rather pick 2 off the list and take corruption, or would you rather just take 1 and no corruption? I'm bending the rules a little bit for let it out, but I think this is a special circumstances.
I think I'll take 2.
Okay. And take corruption?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what is your second thing that you'd like to do?
I want to take 1 forward.
Okay, deal. All right, so taking 1 forward on your next roll gives you a +1 on your next roll. So you reach into Robbie's mind and you awaken him, and you just hear this kind of off in the distance, like, Master! And he kind of starts scurrying around the corner. You see him like on all 4s racing around the corner, and he comes up to you
Fucking creepy as hell.
because it's a ghoul. Yeah.
Normally, I
So-
make them walk around upright,
Yeah.
like semi-human.
But this is like terrifying, but you're not in a place where you can judge
Yeah.
Robbie right now. He races up to you and he says, "What, Master?" He's like shaking you a little bit. Robbie, it's okay. Yeah.
I've been poisoned, Robbie.
What do you want him to do?
Get help.
Okay, so
Oh, great. Go to me.
all right, so as what you can cast a mental image to him of someone that he should go and get, whether it's a random bystander to feed upon to get actual blood. What image do you project on him that will help save your life? You
I
have
am
other
poisoned.
people that live in the apartment too, like
Right. Shit. This is a hard question.
all right, Robbie just runs and bursts out the door.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets in the elevator and he returns in probably like within 5 minutes. You're like struggle breathing, kind of like gosh, I can't remember his character's name, but Terminator 2, he's like shot to hell. He's the black guy holding onto the detonator at the very end of the movie. He's like, just kind of like almost about to die before it blows up, but like struggling, right? And Robbie just bursts in through the elevator with like a person that he's clearly just like grabbed off the street. Just some helpless bystander who's like scratched to hell, and he just like throws him down at you.
Robbie.
Yeah. This guy hits his head on the marble. He kind of just almost looks unconscious. And Robbie's like standing there like looking at you like, yes, no.
I'm going to crawl towards the guy.
Okay. He's like right at you. Do you feed on him?
Yeah.
Okay. And feeding on someone unwillingly also marks corruption, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Today we're playing the corruption game, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so go ahead and mark another corruption. Do you have to roll?
When I feed, yeah.
Okay. Oh, because you get certain options. You can learn from them. You can...
7 plus blood makes a 9.
Okay, and you do have your +1 going forward.
Which makes it a 10.
Yeah.
So I get to choose 3. I will heal 1 harm.
Okay.
Kind of that healing.
Yep. I'm going to make one of the line items that you kind of stop the poison from progressing in your system.
Okay.
So you have to pick that as a baseline. So that takes up 2. And what's your third option?
I don't want him to die, but this would be a hard thing to explain. So I think I'll take 1 forward.
Okay.
Because someone is clearly out to get me.
Okay. Alright, so you take 1 forward, feeling a little bit invigorated. Not only did you kind of stop the poison, but you're kind of getting a second wind, right? So you kind of rise up, and the camera is like a little bit of a wide shot. Robbie's standing off to one side. You stand up, this body lifeless at your feet, and like in the foreground is this coffee table with like 2 wine bottles, some boxes where Mistress Ivy had set up. The camera focus rolls from you in the background to the product in the foreground, and we're gonna cut. Perfect.
I get a corruption move. Yay!
Deal. So go ahead and you can line that up and then erase your corruption. Right. So is there any detriment for killing someone? Is that another corruption mark?
No, because
Okay.
that's just feeding on the unwilling.
Okay. So then, if you do kill too many people, I'm going to mark corruption because that's you losing your humanity.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to shy away from corruption. We're like getting a lot farther. So, deal. Okay. So the camera opens. Calvin and Jessica are walking out of dinner. You know, they're kind of full, walking back, heading back to the car, and Calvin's phone starts to ring. It's a call from Oliver.
Okay.
And generally, calls from Oliver on a Friday night generally don't mean good.
Yeah.
Calvin, you want to watch a movie?
If only, right?
Yeah.
Looks at his phone, sighs a little bit, and hands the keys to Jessica and says, "Go start the car, love." And then
Okay.
he's gonna take
Yeah.
the phone call outside the car.
Deal. Okay.
Hello?
Calvin, is that you?
Who else would it be?
I'm in a bad place right now, Calvin. I need your help.
What's going on, mate?
I've been poisoned.
What do you mean? You've been poisoned?
Someone delivered poisoned blood to me.
For fuck's sake.
The camera shows a wide shot. The window rolls down. She goes, "Dad, can we get a movie tonight?"
Oh, I thought you were going to that party.
Yeah, Megan's being a total bitch right now.
I think you should work things out with Megan. I've got something that just came up.
Fine. Rolls the window back up.
Hey,
It's Dad's weekend this weekend, and the daughter asked to spend time with him.
I know.
Maybe you should hang out with your terrible slut drug dealing friend.
You can bring her if you want.
It's probably not the best.
You don't
Listen,
have to worry.
let's be
Calvin.
honest. Jessica's been to Crushed Velvet once.
Oh no.
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So, what do you need me to do?
I need help figuring out who did this and why.
This goes right back to
Yeah.
what I told you earlier about Calvin. It's like, I have a fucking sign
I
over
have
my
a
head.
sign over my head that says, "Have a question? Ask me. I know the answer." Alright, I'll be over in a second. Just give me a minute.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, okay. Stay put. This is terrible.
I'm just like laying on my floor.
Yeah. So I kind of like the idea that Oliver maybe insinuates that he doesn't have a minute.
A minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we cut to Calvin explaining to Jessica why they have to go to a vampire's house. But not a vampire. She's not aware. She doesn't know what's going on. But so you get into the car.
So I get into the car and we start driving. Look, we gotta go and make a stop. After we get done there, we can do whatever you want, watch a movie, take you over to Jessica's, whatever. But while we're there...
You just told your daughter you can take her over to your daughter's name.
Yep. Megan's.
Yep. You want to restart that? You have a modern phone, but it's a little bit older. So you hit it and you like want to smash your phone. But then you just put it in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
This isn't you don't smash phones anymore. Not since the
Doesn't
last
have
time.
that money.
And then you walk around, take a deep breath before you get in the car, open the door, get in the car.
Every now and then he still walks to the passenger side to get in, but then he's like, "Oh, that's right, America."
Yes, that. All right, so you get in. Jessica's on her phone.
So look, in a bit of a hurry. Gotta go over to.
Is that one of your friends?
More of an acquaintance.
Okay.
But after we're done, do whatever you want. Watch a movie. Take you to Megan's. Not party.
Megan's like obsessed with this boy right now. I think she's trying to get fucked tonight.
Look, anyway.
I don't know. I really just don't want to go over to Megan's anymore.
When we get to the place we're going, it's important that you stay in the car. Alright? I shouldn't be too long. Just...
Dad, this is the lamest Friday night ever. Like, why can't I come in? Are you drug dealing? Oh my god!
If I say yes, will it get you stop asking questions? Or actually,
what-
no,
what
because then
kind
you'll
of
tell your
drugs?
mother. No, no drugs.
Yeah, whatever. I can't come in?
I'd really appreciate it if you didn't.
Fine. Whatever, but you owe me. This sounds like
ice
a debt. This sounds like a debt.
Anyway,
Let's face it, she's gonna walk in and
Yep.
follow him in there anyway.
All right, so you guys pull up to Oliver's building,
I
right?
love that there's another ghoul in like the parking area too. Like
Yep.
not as coherent as Robbie, but this guy just like walks over to your car and just as you get out, he just points at your taillight with the crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Yeah.
I like pull it out and just throw it on the ground.
What the hell? Like, she's probably seen it.
She's probably
Yeah.
seen it.
You can't just leave that there.
I bend over, pick it up, and hand it to the ghoul.
She looks at it. She goes, "What is this thing? I thought it."
The ghoul just takes it and just nods. Because they still look like
Yeah, they
Junkie.
just look like really gross,
so he
thin,
just like
gaunt
pulls his
drug
hand
addicts.
back to his chest, just holding it and just nods.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is your drug dealer's house, isn't it? That guy's a total meth addict.
Just
He's still nodding.
He's like shuffling off, still nodding.
Yeah.
Just stay in the car, lock the doors.
Great.
She gets back into the car. This creepy guy like walks away. Yeah. All right. So we cut to basically the elevator. You need to like do a call to get access to the 13th floor for it to open. Otherwise, people would just walk into Oliver's room.
Right.
Yeah. So there's the call. He lets you in. Doors open. And
Robbie's probably right on the
Robbie like
defensive.
immediately turns and he's like, ah. Like he looks back to you for permission to attack him.
I'm just like doubled up on the floor. Like I probably had Robbie take the body downstairs with the tools.
Yeah. Okay.
Knowing that Calvin was on his way.
So doors open, he immediately and he looks back to you like, do I attack him?
And I shake my head. Just no, Robbie.
Look, I'm just here to help, mate. then we kind of eye each other for a second.
Because he has like giant ghoul eyes.
Take like the wide berth kind of sidestep around him.
Yeah. All right. So
He's probably looking more ghoulish than usual too, because of the way I woke him up.
yeah.
And then I rush over to Oliver.
So there's probably blood all over.
Well, there's blood all over. Like it was a very vicious feeding, and then you probably still haven't had a chance to clean like by the window, and you're just kind of looking a little crazed and feral at this time.
Oh, Christ! What happened to you?
I was poisoned.
Well, how? Are you bleeding?
Look around. No, it's not mine.
Alright, well, yeah, just give me a second, and I, like, pull out my sanctum key,
Okay.
and, I go over to just...
I love that he has a walk-in pantry near the kitchen. Like it's a very open floor plan.
Wherever the closest door is.
So the closest door is like right next to the fridge and the oven and stuff like that. There's like a full style pantry, and there's a doorknob. There's no would there be a keyhole?
I like that.
No, you do have a keyhole because Robbie gets into the pantry.
Fucking Robbie, always taking my snacks.
I like that it kind of almost doesn't even need a key. It's a magic key, so it just sticks into any door.
But
so I could even go over to like the fridge and like...
Yeah, but there is a key because Robbie steals your snacks,
Yeah.
He's like a high school teenager just coming home,
I try and bring him home groceries, he just burns right through them, gnaws on the bones, and then eats my Twinkies.
What a jerk.
What a jerk.
Or zingers, because zingers have frosting. All right. So you stick your key into the pantry, you open the door, and this is the second time we've seen your sanctum. So go ahead and explain it one more time. Just
So as you walk in, it's always a big open kind of library. Most of the shelves are missing books, but they're piled on the table. There's a bunch of random artifacts and trinkets that Calvin doesn't necessarily even know what they do or are. But they're all like magical. And then there's other doorways that he can enter and go through that take him to different functions of the sanctum.
perfect. Are you walking in the sanctum behind him as well?
I saw him open my pantry, and it's not my pantry.
Yeah, the door opens and it's just like a sort of eerie buzz, magical sound.
What the fuck did you do to my pantry?
So I'll go over and I'll help you out, and I say, welcome to my office.
Robbie, get the bottle.
The bottle of Okay, so he goes over and gets a wine bottle, and he kind of scurries it over and kind of hands it to you. He's not going in the sanctum. He has no interest.
He's not allowed in the pantry, and he knows that.
He knows that. He knows there's like so many things that are not happening for Robbie right now. So he hands you the bottle of wine
I
as you
take
guys
it and
head in.
kind of go in with him.
Yeah. Did you ever check that you had a servant in there?
I do, yes.
Okay. And did we ever define him or show him on camera yet?
We haven't.
Okay.
So the way
Go ahead, but I also have like a Jeeves kind of. Do you want to go that route?
I was thinking kind of a Jeeves, but it's like just a book. It's on like a magic pedestal that kind of...
Oh, okay. So it doesn't move? Or does it float?
It floats.
Okay.
But it's just
Can it
a
manipulate
book.
things?
No, it's just a book.
It's
It's
just
just a floating book that talks.
So it's just magical sass.
And his name is Book.
His name is Book. Okay. Or Tome. You call him Tom for short. Really pisses him off. So a book just starts hovering by and goes, "Hello, sir."
What the fuck?
Book. This young vampire here has been poisoned.
Oh, dear goodness. That's not very well.
We need to figure out some sort of antidote.
So this book's just hovering in front of
Yeah,
us?
just hovering. It's like open to a page. Does it have like a face on the pages or what? What is...
No.
Is the voice just like stereo just coming from the book?
Yeah, the voice just like
Or
comes
is the
from
book
the
sideways and it just talks?
I kind of like either that it's sideways and talks, or it like opens to a blank page, and as it's like talking, like it writes words out.
Okay. And
Subtitles.
like, yeah, no, and it has parentheses for implied stuff. Or,
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I like that much better than a talking site. As much as that is funny, I think this is cooler lore. All right, so
I kinda
it's
just,
opening.
like-
Hello, sir.
It's writing
Yeah.
as... Holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
I must be tripping because
Yes. It says parenthetical. Why'd you bring a vampire in? You know I don't care for their
I
type.
like reach out and touch the
No
book.
touch.
It just floats away. Yeah. It does not want you to touch it.
Look, book doesn't like to be touched.
And it
alright?
kind of zips around judgingly, like looking at you from different angles.
Look,
Fucking wizard.
Yes.
I need some help analyzing this poison, so we can find an antidote in the apothecary.
Yes, of course.
And it needs to be able to work with vampires.
That would
Well,
be preferable.
I think we have a book on that, sir. Follow me.
Aren't you the book?
I am just his assistant.
Look,
I'm
this
the book
is-
that knows the books.
This is book. Book
God,
just
I need a drink.
book's the caretaker.
Your book's a caretaker?
And you look around and it's just messy as hell. Like, it's just trash.
Calvin, do you live here?
No,
Where are we?
this is my sanctum.
Your sanctum?
Yes,
It's in my
sanctum.
pantry.
Well, it's not in your pantry so much as it's everywhere and
Sir,
nowhere.
if you are
all
poisoned,
at
we really don't
once.
have time to talk about this. Look, the sanctum is everywhere and nowhere.
What?
Sir, please follow me. So he leads you over. He's like darting around trying to find books everywhere, but it's just such a mess. He finally finds 2 or 3 books that might be able to help you in a different direction. As you guys read through some of the books and stuff like that, I'm going to need you to let it out to create a cure.
Okay.
So you're going to be rolling with Spirit. Now, Spirit is kind of a catch-all for the supernatural, so this is using your magic to identify and create a cure for the poison that was introduced to your system.
Is it possible for me to lend a hand here?
Well, would
In a
this
lot of
be
ways-
more of my wizard move, Sanctum Sanctorum?
Which is
When
creating
you go to
an
your
object?
sanctum for a spell,
Absolutely.
ingredient, relic, or tome, roll with
I
spirit.
probably can't help with that one.
On a 10 plus, you've got pretty much just the thing. On a 7 through 9,
Okay.
you've got something close, but it's flawed or lacking in some significant way.
Okay, roll it. So this is still a Spirit.
Yep.
Yep, just
So plus
further
3.
define.
And I rolled a natural 10, so a 13.
Yeah. So between the three
this.
books, you actually are not only able to identify the poison, but absolutely cure Oliver of his poison. Once you are able to kind of do some experiments with it, you can tell that it is a Fey poison through and through.
Okay. So, as I'm probably mixing some of the bottles and like, according to this book here, you were poisoned by random Fey ingredient.
This is a flower found very much in the Court of Spring part of Arcadia.
Okay. This is a flower native to Arcadia, found local to the Court of Spring.
Arcadia?
Yeah, the
Yes, sir. And he
Fey.
zips around. Here's a book on Arcadian lore.
Thank you.
Shall I add him to our library checkout system, sir?
Can I have a library card? Visit your public library.
Good.
I mean,
That's where you can find Mistress Ivy's, but don't drink what they put in front of you.
if he's taking the book out, then yes.
Yes, sir. He opens a new page and a library card falls out.
It's got a picture of me.
Yeah,
too.
it's got a picture of you and your Christian name.
Hey, book, while you're at it, can you make me a new driver's license?
Sir, you know that I can't make duplicate driver's license. I already made you the one. What's wrong with your current driver's license?
Don't worry about that book.
Then why are you asking for a book?
Do
Why are
you
asking-
have like a return slot, or how do I drop the book back off? Do I just put it in the pantry?
You know, I've never had anyone else besides me take a book out. Book, how do we do that?
That's a good question, sir. Return the book to your normal, everyday New Salem library, and we'll take it from there. Visit your library, kids. A great place to buy drugs.
I put my new library card in my pocket. So, what's this cure look like? How unpleasant is it?
Pretty gross. It's a Fey
It's
antidote as well.
Fey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super
It-
Fey.
when you're holding a glass and just like sparkles are shooting out of it.
Oh,
Yeah. Sparkles and glitter.
And sunshine.
Yeah.
It's just-
It's like
Oh,
a bright
man.
pink potion,
Yeah.
with like blue glitters and lights and
If you rolled lower and described it that way, I'd almost think you gave me
When you hold it up to the light, you can see like a unicorn in it. Like it's just really interesting.
Fucking Faye, man. So
Pretty sure we're off topic for Urban Shadows at this point.
just look. You said you needed a potion. I made you a potion.
You feel your stomach churning, like you're about to have this poison come out your ass.
Yeah, no, it probably is.
Yeah.
Drink it if you want to live.
I've drinking some terrible things in my time. Look.
I like the book goes,
And
was poison one of them?
And then the book says, "Wait, you didn't turn the page. On the next page, it says it's a suppository."
Alright,
Drinking unicorns.
yeah.
We need to get Jake in the same thing.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, so you drink this this thing, and it kind of tastes like candy corn, like liquid candy corn. Not candy. Oh God, no, not
Not candy. Corn.
candy.
Well, it
Cotton
tastes that
candy.
bad
Cotton
anyway.
candy. Cotton candy. Yeah. Oh jeez. No, it tastes like cotton candy as it goes down. It kind of has like this rich, sugary, like diabetes taste. You finish drinking it, and you almost immediately start to feel your strength coming back to you.
It reminds you of a time you ate a carny.
Yeah.
That was. We don't talk about that. Okay, that was a low point in my life.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, carnival workers are people too. Okay, they're right below strippers. Okay.
I was in a bad place. All right. I
Yeah.
was hungry. I was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Which is where carnivals are usually located.
It was the carny or like the nice farm family.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and just farm family just doesn't have enough flavor.
It reminded me too much of home.
Yeah, it tastes like corn. Yeah. All right.
It's like corn.
All right. I think we're gonna reel it back to urban shadows at this point.
Yes.
Right. So I have consumed the antidote.
Yeah. So you're starting to feel a little bit better. Might want to take it easy for the next 12, 24 hours. At least that's what book recommends. He kind of writes up this whole like side effects may contain.
Does that spit out on a receipt too?
No, you just have to memorize it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not that much of a.
If it
printer.
happens, it happens.
Yeah. There, as the details get more and more dangerous, the writing gets smaller and smaller.
Till like I'm right up against the
Yeah.
book trying to read
Yeah. Does that say death? Dismemberment?
How?
I've got stuff to do. Kind of flies away. Right. So you're feeling a little bit better, but the mystery remains. Why and how?
Jake isn't here. Calvin,
He's delirious.
it's been a wild ride. Can you check the rest of my supply to see if it's contaminated?
That will take some
That will
great
take
time.
some time.
Yeah.
I'd love to, mate, but
And
I've
your
got
daughter's
my
in your car.
daughter downstairs.
Jess is downstairs? You should have just had her come up. I have like
Robbie's full ghoul.
Yeah.
I have like 4,000 cable channels.
Look, my daughter doesn't know about this other life, and I'd like to keep
How?
it
As the
with me.
book's so zipping by in the background.
How does she not know?
Just,
She lives with you, doesn't she?
she mostly lives with her mother.
Oh, I see.
Look, I've got to go, but I probably wouldn't drink that other stuff.
No, I don't think I will be. I think I'm going to have to ask my supplier a few questions, to tell you the truth. And I might need to bring Jake along with me for those questions.
So the camera goes back out into your apartment. Robbie is like standing next to the pantry door like, why is Oliver in there so long? The pantry door opens. Oliver steps out, but Calvin stays in there. The pantry door shuts. And then like you kind of open your pantry and it's just your pantry again. And you're like super weirded out. And,
Grab
like,
one of my Twinkies.
feed it to Robbie for being a
For
good
being a
boy.
good boy.
Yeah. And then it shows the garage and like a maintenance door opens and you kind of peek out making sure it's the right place and then you step out, shut the door, walk back up to your car and your daughter is it's still in there. I was like thinking like, is she gone? No, she's in there.
So I tap on the window and get her to unlock it and let me in.
Yeah. So you guys hop in the car, and away you drive. We cut to Jake. What has Jake been doing to avoid
Praying a lot.
going home? Is Jake a religious man?
No. No, he maybe he started as a religious man and then, you know,
Well, seeing the hells that you've
Yeah.
seen,
it's just like there can't
be, yeah.
The whole all over body burning sensation when
Yeah.
he steps on holy ground is just very uncomfortable.
That's fair. Okay, so what has Jake been doing, right? Last we saw him was before the docks, before he picked up his shift on Friday. Thursday night was pretty rough back at Homestead.
Yeah.
Sarah had almost given you an ultimatum, and you were
trying.
you were building
courage,
up courage. Where do you start telling that story? First of all, secondly, Anna burst through the door, ran up, started watching cartoons with you, kind of saved you, but in another way,
pushed it further back,
made it worse. Yeah. So you picked up a shift. You're getting off. Are you avoiding going home?
I think
You know that you're going to be summoned
right.
soon enough, right? I'm sure you picked up a bigger shift today,
Right, to make just to I think
kind
I'm
of play catch up for your 3 days off earlier this week.
I think I'm still not gonna go home.
Okay.
Because I know that I'm gonna. There's no point in going home and then having to leave again.
Right.
Is it
So you're
just make
still
it
in work
worse?
clothes. You basically have a car arrive at work, and like you have a truck or a car.
Yeah, just an old beater vehicle.
Okay.
We don't decide
Indiscriminate.
what it was. Yeah.
I thought we had one, like a
It's an
Ford
old
Focus
beater
or something.
truck.
Was it a
His
Focus?
is-
I don't know.
isn't-
It doesn't matter. He has the
That's
neon.
a neon.
He has the
yeah.
neon. Yeah, because Trent had the old truck too. But
Yeah.
anyways, a vehicle comes, picks you up. It's a very, very classy. We'll say that it is a like. We'll say that it's a very nice Hyundai, like 4-door sedan. I don't know Hyundai's terribly. I used to have an Elantra, but I know they're like lower end. Anyways, it's the 2 tiers up of the Elantra. Kind of picks you up, and there's a driver, and there's Reynold sitting in the car, and they pick you up from your work, and they start driving until you hit New Tokyo.
Okay.
All right, so as you're driving along, New Tokyo, as this is the first time we've been there, is a very kind of almost postmodern section of the city. It's only a couple blocks, but the architecture is hyper futuristic. There's glowing neon lights. In the wide shot of New Salem, like a helicopter at night, there's like these gorgeous skyscrapers, and then there's like the casinos near Heritage Park, and then there's on one end of Heritage Park, there's this little square section of just like lights and neon signs and like women and people projected onto the buildings, and just very very traditional, or not traditional, but very much an Asian influence, specifically Japanese. You guys pull up, and you are before Kato Tower, one of the most high skyscrapers in the city. Kato is from what you know of him, he's one of the most powerful, influential businessmen here in New Salem. You guys get into the building. Gorgeous open lobby, very heavy Japanese influence. There are these full-blown, there's these beautiful busts of samurai. Their armor, they're kind of like generic statues wearing gorgeous samurai armor, and there's katana swords on display as you're walking through the lobby until you hit the elevators. You take the elevators up to the very top floor. This building is massive, and the top floor is split into 2 rooms. So the doors open to this massive open room, and you see a man sitting at a desk. This massive desk, way bigger than it needs to be, and his back is turned to you as you walk in. And as you're walking up with Reynold, you look in the reflection of the mirror, and in the reflection, you're standing there, and you have like, from time to time, when you're in the presence of other supernatural beings, you might catch a glimpse of something.
Okay.
Reynold doesn't have a reflection.
Right.
Your reflection is sort of smoky, and as you're kind of standing at the desk looking into the window back at the person in the chair, it has scales. It has the scales and it almost looks like a dragon. And the chair turns around and you see a very elderly businessman. He's Japanese. He's the kind of he's been around for a while. He's a very wise-looking man, and he says, "Welcome, Jacob. I'm glad you could join me.
Yep, I'm here to, I guess, get down to business.
Please, gentlemen, have a seat." You guys sit down, luxurious chairs. Like, everything about this office is lavish, overdone, extra space. Your chairs are massive. You sit down, and he goes, "Jacob, you are one of people that can help me with a problem."
That's what I'm here for.
So he looks to Reynold, and he looks back at you, and he says, "I understand that you were at construction site days ago. During..." He struggles. He looks to Reynold for help, and Reynold says, "The battle with vampires, werewolves, and the hunters.
Oh, yes.
You were there."
I was.
He looks to Kato, and Kato goes, "You know of the wolves. You have contacts with the wolves."
If they're still alive?
He looks back to Reynold. Reynold says, The wolves are still alive, yes.
Yes, and
They are fortified. They create strongholds of territory.
Yes.
How do you contact them?"
Through a friend. He's dealing with them.
Was your friend there?
He was.
Goes back to Kato, and Kato says, "As you know, trying to build better New Salem. I need your help. Wolves are a very bad problem. Must be terminated. They are dangerous, dangerous wolves. With them gone, we will build a better New Salem." As you can imagine, the wolves present a bit of a problem. Mr. Cato's opponent in the upcoming political race for mayor, a man by the name of Vincenz Marcellus. I believe you know him?
I do.
What are your feelings about Mr. Marcellus?
Just someone I did some work for once.
Yes. Listen. Do us a favor, and Mr. Cato and I will be in your debt.
Ask away.
Kill the beta known as Trent. Cato kind of reaches down and pulls up a briefcase and sets it on the desk, clacks it open, lifts it open, turns it around, and it's just flush with money.
Everything Jake could ever want.
No. You do this for us. We shall make you very rich, powerful. Kill the wolf. Destroy their brood. There will be more where this came from. Closes the briefcase, slides it over to Reynold. Reynold says, "This is your down payment." Slides it over. You take the case, you accept the job.
Just think of
What do
all
you
the
do?
money.
I'm gonna grab the case. I'm like, I'll do what I must.
Okay. Cut.
Damn, that was rough. That was rough. I just screwed everyone.
that is going to be our episode for this week. We will be back with more friends like these next week. All right. What's next scene?
Do we really have to answer that?
I already went. I'm good.
I'm good for 20 minutes. Mark said
You
so.
for the next scene.
Damn it.
Dude, you're so fucked.
I don't know. I was just like, it's a rock and hard place, man.
And all you gotta do is kill someone. You love doing that.
I do.
Right. I'm going to go stop the recorder.
Why couldn't I just been poisoned today?
I call poison next time. I call poison next time. Nobody else can call poison.
Oh, damn it.